Hello and welcome. My name is Alan, and today we'll be doing more of the U.S. Constitution. Today we'll be talking about section or Article 1, sections 5, 6, and 7 of the Constitution, which really just cover some of what Congress can actually do. So let's go ahead and jump into this. I will be again reading from my constitutional law book. But yeah, Article 1, Section 5, Paragraph 1. Each house shall be the judge of the elections, returns, and qualifications of its own members, and a majority of each shall constitute a quorum to do business, but a smaller number may adjourn from day to day and may be authorized to compel the attendance of absent members in such manner and under the penalties as each house may provide. So each house, both the Senate and the House of Representatives, shall be the judge of the elections, returns, and qualifications of its own members. So when there's a question of someone getting elected to Congress, it's really up to the House they were supposed to be elected into for them to make the final decision if there's any questions or anything like that. Plus, uh, to get any business done, there must be at least a majority of Congress members, though a smaller number may adjourn from day to day and may be authorized to compel the attendance of absent members. So, while it does take a majority to do business, a smaller group can kind of force um, the other members to have to show up eventually. Okay, Article 1, Section 5, Paragraph 2. Each house may determine the rules of its proceedings, punish its members for disorderly behavior, and, with the concurrence of 2/3, expel a member. So, the House of Representatives and the Senate may each determine the rules of how business shall go, um, shall be able to punish their members, and if 2/3 agree, they can kick a member out of Congress. Article 1, Section 5, Paragraph 3. Each house shall keep a journal of its proceedings, and from time to time publish the same, excepting such parts as may in their judgment require secrecy, and the yeas and nays of the members of either house and or on any question shall, at the desire of 1/5 of those present, be entered on the journal. So what we have here is that it is saying the House of Representatives and the Senate shall record the day-to-day business as well as votes, unless it's anything that has to do with security or secrecy. Um, and then any other questions, as long as there is a request of at least 1/5 of the members in attendance, that question shall also be placed into the journal. Article 1, Section 5, Paragraph 4. Neither house during the session of Congress shall, without the consent of the other, adjourn for more than 3 days, nor to any other place than that in which the two houses shall be sitting. So the general idea is they kind of want both houses, the Senate and the House of Representatives, to be running at the same time. And they don't really want too much of a difference in when they're doing business. Article 1, Section 6, Paragraph 1. The senators and representatives shall receive a compensation for their services to be ascertained by law and paid out of the Treasury of the United States. They shall, in all cases, except treason, felony, and breach of the peace, be privileged from arrest during their attendance at the session of their respective houses, and in going to and returning from the same houses and and for any speech or debate in either house, they shall not be questioned to any other place. So, senators and representatives shall be paid an amount that is decided by the law, and that shall be paid out of the U.S. Treasury. And in all cases except treason, felony, and breach of peace, have the privilege to not be arrested during attendance in Congress during a congressional session, and in going to and returning from that particular House of Congress. All right. Article 1, Section 6, Paragraph 2. No senator or representative shall, during the time for which he was elected, be appointed to any civil office under the authority of the United States, which shall have been created, or the emoluments thereof shall have been increased during such time, and no person holding the office under the United States shall be a member of either house during his continuance in office. So let's break this down. All right, no senator or representative during the time for which they are elected in Congress shall they shall not be appointed to any civil office under the authority of the U.S. So you can't hold a position in Congress and then any other position. Let's see. All right, so yeah, that seems to be the main thing. You're a member of Congress. That's what you are. You don't get to hold any other office while you are a member of Congress. Now for our last section today, Article 1, Section 7, Paragraph 1. All bills for raising revenue shall originate in the House of Representatives, but the Senate may propose or concur with amendments as on other bills. So any bills that seek to raise money or raise revenue um, shall have to start in the U.S. House of Representatives and then be voted upon by the Senate, which is your normal actions for the passing of laws in the U.S. anyway. House, then Senate, though sometimes it can be a resolution put forward by the Senate and the House votes on it on their side, but usually it does have to start in the House. Article 1, Section 7, Paragraph 2. This is a long one. Every bill which shall have passed the House of Representatives and the Senate shall, before it become a law, be presented to the President of the United States. If he approve, he shall sign it. But if not, he shall return it with his objections to that house in which it shall have originated, who shall enter the objections at large on their journal and proceed to reconsider it. If after such reconsideration 2/3 of that House shall agree to pass the bill, it shall be sent together with the objections to the other House, by which it shall likewise be reconsidered. And if approved by 2/3 of that House, it shall become a law. But in all such cases, the votes of both houses shall be determined by yeas and nays, and the names of the persons voting for and against the bill shall be entered on the journal of each house respectively. If any bill shall not be returned by the president within the days Sunday accepted, after it shall have been presented to him, the same shall be a law, in like manner as if he had signed it, unless the Congress, by their adjournment, prevent his return, in which case it shall not be a law. So let's break this down. This is a very base piece of American legislation, how laws work. This is one of the defining issues of government in the U.S. A bill is set forth, let's say, in the House. The Senate must concur and approve it as well. If both the House and the Senate have put forth this bill, agreeing upon it, then it shall arrive upon the desk of the President to sign and become a law. If he signs it, it goes into law. But if he does not sign it, one of the things that they want done is that he must list his objections to what was provided and the house it was provided in. So, say there is something produced in the House of Representatives that the president is objecting to. He must write his objections down and why he objects. Send this bill back to the House for reconsideration. The House can reconsider. They can either A, make changes, B, scrap it altogether, or C, ignore what he said and say we like it the way it is, there's no need to change it, and send it on back up to the other uh, congressional house. That house must then go through reconsiderations of the bill the same way. If it is once again reconsidered, it'll land back on the president's desk, and basically for him to sign or not. If he receives the bill but does not sign it within 10 days, again, Sunday's accepted, it becomes a law regardless. Because you remember, the president is the executive branch. He just has to execute that law. The actual making of laws is in the hands of Congress. Now we read our final piece, Article 1, Section 7, Paragraph 3. Every order, resolution, or vote in which the concurrence of the Senate and House of Representatives may be necessary, except on a question of adjournment, shall be presented to the President of the United States, and before the same shall take effect, shall be approved by him or being disapproved by him shall be repassed by 2/3 of the Senate and House of Representatives, according to the rules and limitations prescribed in the case of a bill. So yeah, just kind of re-examining the whole Congress presents bill, resolution, what have you. It is accepted by both the House and the Senate, goes to the president. He has the choice to sign or not sign. Either way, it will become law. Now, there is something that the president can do called a veto, which will block the law. But if Congress repasses it with enough people, that veto won't matter, if my memory serves me right. But those are the 3 sections we were going to go over today. Just kind of a basic idea of how law is made. But as always, educate thyself, think, read, study, learn. Someone tries to tell you something you have trouble believing, ask them to cite their sources. I'll see you all in the next video. Until then, later.